A lot of people in the spiritual community are gatekeeping. Yes, that's what they're doing because they keep information to themselves. I want to talk about the new earth and raising your consciousness. So let me see if I could basically explain it in layman's term. A lot of people are talking about 3D, 5D, all of these D's and all of these things. They haven't been explaining these things to you guys, so I want to talk about it. I will start by just grounding ourselves and just setting the tone, doing a few deep breaths, you know. In, out, you inhale, and you exhale. What does higher consciousness look like to you, and what would the world look like to you if we were at a higher consciousness? And I want you guys to think about it. There is a shift that's taking place that a lot of people don't understand, and for me, I want to help people to understand deeply. Most of us are either in the 3D, the 4D, or the 5D right now. A lot of people don't even understand what that means. No, when someone says that they're in the 3D, it literally means that they are operating from a level of consciousness where they're still in fear. They still are in survival mode. They still are seeing themselves as separated from the whole. If you take it up a notch, persons that are in the 4D are awakening to the fact that we are all connected, and they are questioning everything. They're becoming curious as to why things are the way that they are, and they're doing the work within themselves to remove the limitations, to remove the fear and all of that stuff that's holding them attached to the third dimension, if that makes sense. Once you leave the third dimension, you let go of fear and you let go of all of that heaviness that holds you tethered to the third dimension. You hop into the 4D, you start doing the shadow work, you start awakening to different, and spiritual awakenings have multiple levels. And we're all spirits, so we're all gonna have to go through it at some point in time. We go through it in cycles, in and out, and you're awakened. Some days you go back and forth because it's your journey and it's all personal. It's no rush. There's no timeline. There's no deadline. You're exactly where you need to be. Some people are a bit ahead because they came in the game unfairly, because some people have already done this before. Like myself, I've done this multiple times before. I operate from a higher consciousness level because I've lived many lives. Certain things I could never do. I've always had like a level of morals, things that were normal to others. I could never do it and think that it would be normal. I always felt out of place. And if you felt like that, then chances are you, my friend, are different. And being different is not bad. We're all different. We're all uniquely ourselves. The 5D is literally where you are realizing that consciousness is all one thing, and we're all connected through our levels, our consciousness. So we all can attain the same level of consciousness. We all can attain the same level of everything. We all are one, essentially, right? There's no separation. There's nothing separating you from myself. Hence karma. If I do something to you, then I'm doing it to myself, because we're all one, essentially, right? So that is where you operate from a place of love, and you operate from a place of peace. You operate from a place of abundance. There's no lack. There's no lack mindset. Everything is there because we all have everything. We all have everything we need. Every single tree that is planted gives you fruits that give more seeds to plant more fruits, if that makes sense. Every single thing creates more. So lack and all of that low vibrational 3D stuff that they try to kept us trapped in are all illusions. So what happens is when you get to the 4D and these illusions starts breaking down, and you start to see that, wait, that's not true. Like, what's this? And why are we being treated like this? Why do we have to work to pay bills for things that we actually own? Because Water comes from the sky, the earth came from God, all of that stuff. So when you start to awaken and you start to question stuff, that's when you get to the 4D, right? After the 4D, you get up to where you start to realize that, oh wow, that's why that had to happen, you know, and you start to understand more. So you find that a lot of people that are in the 4D, they start to give a lot of information, and they're just spewing information, trying to wake everyone else up because they feel that it's on them to just get everybody to get up, wake up, look guys, look. But when you do that, you're taking away our own divinity. So each individual has free will. Each individual has their own ability to create the reality that they want for themselves. If they don't wish to be awakened, why wake them? Be true to who they choose to be. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay where you are. You're okay to do whatever you want to do because you are the conscious creator of your own reality. You create everything that you want the way that it is. You wanted to be here. You chose this life. I know it's hard to wrap your mind around sometimes, but you chose it. And everything bad, good, or indifferent that happens to you, it all happens for a reason. And it all happens because we're all essentially here to grow and to evolve. Without the pain, without the hard stuff, we don't get to evolve. So here I'm gonna jump into some signs that you're awakening. And I don't know where you guys are on your journey. You could drop in the chat, let me know where you are. If you want me to help you more, I just want to help people. I just want to love people and help them to see themselves the way that 3 signs that you're waking up. You feel detached from old beliefs. So whatever beliefs you grew up with as a kid, whatever you were told to hold on to, whether it be religious beliefs, personal beliefs, any belief that you have about yourself, whatever beliefs that are toxic and that aren't serving you, especially now with the full moon eclipse, we're being asked to release these type of things. So whatever beliefs that are there that you're wanting to release is showing you that you're awakening. One of the major signs that you're awakening is that you have increased intuition, and there are a lot more synchronicities. The universe starts showing you a lot of signs and symbols to help you to see that, wow, there's something here. Let me pay attention. And there's always this, you're always seeing the same numbers. You're always seeing the same symbolisms. You're always seeing the same things. Another sign that you're awakening is heightened sensitivity to energies and people's intentions. So you can't just go around hanging around people that don't have the best intentions for you. You can't just hang around people that aren't in alignment with where you are going anymore. You used to could have just chill out with people and you could be okay, you know, if they're smoking, if they're drinking, if they're doing whatever, it would have been fine. But once you start your awakening process and you start hanging out around those people, you find that you go around them and your whole life starts to collapse. You find that you go around them and it's all arguments. You find that you go around them and it's the whole universe trying to tell you get away from them. Crazy, but that's how it happens. And another sign that you are awakening is you start to desire more meaning from life. You start to want to understand what life is. You start to want to understand more about the meaning of what this all is, your purpose. Why are you here, right? You start to seek out peace. You start to seek out freedom. And another major thing to note that happens when you're awakening is you feel the call to heal and to serve others. But the moment you start feeling the call to heal and to serve, most people jump into start healing and serving instead of completing their healing work and, you know, serving themselves first. So you find that a lot of people that have awakened, they get stuck in that 4D, which is where they are awakening, right? They haven't finished their inner work, but once they start questioning and once they start doing the awakening process, they find that they want to go heal others. They don't get to the part where they cross over to finish doing their work. They just jump into helping others and then they get stuck into that place where they haven't finished, and they have to go back to finish with themselves to complete that cycle. Because if you haven't completed the cycle, you won't go where we're going. And we're all heading over to the new earth, and I'm going to say more about the new earth in a few. If you have experienced any of the things that I just explained, or if you are currently experiencing them, if you think that you're still in the 3D, wherever you think you are, right? Wherever it is, it's okay. You're always exactly where you need to be, right? It's no race. It's no rush. Everybody's going to awaken at their own pace, and everybody's going to grow at their own pace. How to raise your consciousness. In order to raise your consciousness, you have to have daily practices. And we're all spirits, so it's however you want to practice spirituality. But the major thing that I would say is being mindful and being present in the moment at all time. Living in the current moment is going to be your best bet. Observe your thoughts, observe every single thing, and be conscious of it, because then you will be able to stay positive. You will be able to stay in a space where you can connect with what is in the moment, instead of looking into the future or being tethered to the past. You can literally stay there in the moment. That will help you to raise your consciousness in every second. Being grounded in the moment, taking a few deep breaths and just holding it and connecting to all that is, and releasing all the heavy things that you're feeling, transmuting it into something beautiful, will always help you to stay right there, and it will help you to raise your consciousness immediately. To detox from fear. Because the moment fear starts leaving your life is when you're going to raise your consciousness immediately. When fear starts to leave, if you find that you are tethered to fear and you have a lot of fear within you, you are already in the 3D. Yes, it's okay. It's okay to be there in the 3D. But the moment you start releasing fear and getting away from the news and the drama and all of that stuff that induces fear, you will start immediately raising your consciousness. This is the hard part, because a lot of us have deep-seated fears within us that we haven't addressed from birth. So it's kind of hard to just get up when you're like 40 and say, oh, I'm going to start releasing fear. These things are within your subconscious. It's going to be so hard for you to get past these fears, but you have to slowly but surely continuously work within yourself. And I will tell you this, a lot of the noise around you are just so that you could not see what needs to be done within you. A lot of the noise are really just there to distract you. It's all distractions. If you look around you, it's all distractions. It's a lot going on. You look around you, it's a lot happening over there, it's a lot happening there, and it's all meant to distract you from doing the work within yourself. Now, the next way to immediately raise your consciousness, practice approaching life and every situation from a heart-centered space rather than from ego. So approach people and situations and things with love and compassion. Every situation, not just the ones that you actually love and are compassionate about, but when you transcend the ego and you start to approach situations and people from a space of love, then you will be able to immediately raise your consciousness. That is the vibration that we're heading towards, because that's the one that's closest to God, love and authenticity. This one is what everyone is on nowadays. Go out in nature, connect with nature. Once you connect with nature, because that's God in its purest form, right? Humans, yeah, definitely impure, because we've been tainted left, right, and center with all sorts of negative stuff, right? But when you go out into nature, I promise you, you're going to be able to connect with the purest form of consciousness. And that's probably why a lot of people try to eat raw veggies and take plant mushrooms and stuff, and it raises their consciousness, because they're connecting with plans. Yeah, I never done that, but no judgment. Everybody get to do whatever they want to do with their lives. Once you walk barefoot and you go out and you connect with trees, yes, I'm a tree hugger. I love me some trees. I love spending time in nature because it does raise your frequency. Being grateful, showing gratitude, fasting, sitting in the sun, connecting with any form of nature will definitely immediately raise your consciousness. Another one is doing the actual shadow work to shed bits and pieces of yourselves that are holding you back. Now, a lot of things that we've learned since we've been here on earth have actually been holding us back from connecting with, and it goes a long way. It can be the things that our parents taught us, like our religion, school, everything that we were taught, how we were taught to see the world. All of these things can be limitations. You find that a lot of people, once they start waking up, they start saying, oh, you gotta unlearn. You gotta unlearn. Yes, you gotta unlearn all the things that are limiting you. And sometimes it could be a religion. It could be the way that your dad told you to interact with people. It could be the way that your mom told you how to interact with people. It could be a lot of stuff that needs releasing because it was limited. And people could teach you things directly and indirectly. So one of the things that I really like to talk to people about that they didn't even see, that we learn things subconsciously. If you look at how you deal with money, you will always deal with money just the way that your parents dealt with money. And it's so true. And you could comment or you could like and let me know if that's true. You deal with money, unless you shift your perspective, you deal with money just the way that your parents taught you. So if your parents, if you grew up in a house that was lack, and no more, no, and all of that, now you either grow up where you're a go-getter and you're always chasing more money because you have this mentality that you just need more because you're trying to get rid of that mindset of not having enough, or you will think that, oh, I'll never have enough money, and it will be ingrained in you. So that's one of the ways that you know that, you know what, I learned this thing, but I gotta let it go because it's not serving me. And it's the best time to let go of things that's not serving you right now with that full moon eclipse. Things that are not serving us are being eclipsed out of our lives anyway. The more high vibrational energies that you embody. So let's say you walk around joyful and you're always at peace and you're always walking in authenticity and love. The more you will shift to the new earth. And if you don't know what the new earth is, the new earth is a level of consciousness. So it's gonna be one earth, but it's gonna be split. You're gonna have people that are living in utopian or a utopian type life, and then you're gonna have people over here that's in fear and lower vibrational energies, and the energies are literally gonna not be able to come together, you know, like oil and water. So that's why there's gonna be a shift. So we are all operating on different timelines and different dimensions in the same space. So I'll walk past you in a supermarket and you can't perceive me because of the level of vibration that I operate at. I'll talk to you, we'll have a conversation, and you won't be able to understand me because of the level of vibration that I'm at. And it will take a few months or a few years after, when you've raised your consciousness and you've raised your level of vibration, where you can see that, wow, I understand what she was saying now. She was trying to say this, that, and that, but I couldn't perceive it before because of such and such. And that's the truth. That's how we're operating right now. And I've come to understand this deeply because I've had multiple conversations with multiple people over the last couple of years, and they always come back long after the fact to tell me that, oh, you were right. What you said before was right. And yes, that, and yes, it's annoying. but I just had to accept it, you know, because I'm now like where I'm used to it at this point. The other thing is, and let me know which one of, or whatever I'm saying, if you can ask any questions, I got you, because like I said, I already know that it's already a challenge trying to just understand what I'm saying. So if you're having a hard time understanding anything that I'm teaching right now, let me know. The power of community and unity, and that's what the Aquarian or the golden age is. A beautiful time. It's never happened before. No one knows what to expect. It's all unknown, and that's the beauty, right? But if you understand Aquarian energy, you understand that we all are being called to step into where we are treating people as they are, which is as human beings. We're all humans. Why are we fighting? Oh, I'm black. Oh, you're white. Oh, let's go fight. No, it's not right. It doesn't matter. We're all here for a purpose. And you think that, yes, whatever happened in the past, we should go ahead and fight it out. No, it's the past. The past is the past. If you're focused on the past or you're focused on the future, you're not being in the moment. You have to be in the moment. And being in the moment, you will find solutions to each and every single problem. Yes, you want to feel good about everything, but it's not about feeling good about things. It's about learning the lesson. Have you learned your lesson? And how are you moving on from this thing that you've learned? How are you using the lessons that you've learned to help to not cause the same problems in the past? I see that a lot of people aren't learning their lessons because they're essentially using the things from the past to block their future. And it's kind of weird. I find it very, very weird. The new earth is about connection and not separation. It is where we get to realize, because remember, it's 5D consciousness, so you realize that we're all connected through oneness of consciousness. We no longer get to be in a space where, oh, this line over here makes you Mexican and then it makes me a US citizen. No, we're all one. So it doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's all an illusion, essentially. The removal of separation, because separation only causes pain. How do we get to look at another and just see how much we're connected as opposed to how much we are different? You know, what are our similarities? We all get up, we all go to sleep, we all get sick, we all live, if that makes sense. That's how we're going towards that deeper humanitarian space where we can see people and love people for who they are. Just that, just who you are. One thing I will say, the more we heal together, the more we will shift the collective as a whole. For everyone that's like, oh, let me go heal the world, put on my Superman cape and fly. No. The work has to be done within you. If you haven't done the work and you're over here, because most of the people, they're stuck in the space where they're trying to get money. Yes, we have to get money. We have to get money so that we can live. In order to get money so that we can live, a lot of people are operating from where survival and scarcity mindsets. And then these are the same people that are thinking that they're high vibrational, and no, you're living in lack. If you're living in lack, you're going to be stuck in the 3D. There's no way to get to the 5D unless you remove the illusion of lack. Unless you could remove the illusions that surround how you view everything. It's being viewed in a limiting way. Yeah, you're already stuck. You're stuck in a space that you have to shift from. And a lot of people, that's what they do. They start doing the work. They get stuck in the 4D where they're awakening. And they don't complete their awakening, and they start to do work with others, and they start to heal others because they think that they've gotten there. No, you got work to go do, babes. Go. Let's keep going. All right. I'm gonna be imploring each and every one of you that come on here to find soul-aligned communities. Communities that you are able to grow in. Communities that are able to help you to heal and support your healing journey. You know, you are not alone, and there are millions of others that are waking up just like you that will need groups and that will need to be supported. I want to say to you that the new earth is just a higher state of being, consciousness shift that starts within you. Daily practices will help you. How you meditate, journal, take care of yourself on a daily, it will help you to align and vibrate at a higher consciousness. That will definitely help you. I want to ask you today, what was your biggest insight from all of what I spoke about? And I want to also encourage you to journal and meditate on what the new earth means for you, and how can we raise in our consciousness, like the question I asked before. How can we raise our consciousness in order to be where we need to be as a collective? Because a lot of people can't see the future. Like, they can't see us coming together as a collective. They can't see it because they're seeing the chaos. But I will say, chaos breeds creation. Every time chaos comes, it's because we have to unravel the truth, and it has to come to the surface. All right, once the truth comes to the surface and everyone gets to see it as it is and see it for what it is, then that is when we can break it down and recreate. And we can recreate it in however way we wish, and we can recreate it in however way we want. And it normally has to be a way that is serving us. So is it serving to you? How is it serving you? You know, stuff like that, pretty much. But it was nice being on here. I thank you for coming on and having this conversation with me. I will be back with more topics like this, because these are the things that really make me happy, being able to enlighten and to help others that are going through whatever darkness they are going through, and help them to understand more about why they're going through what they're going through, and help them to heal. That's what I do. If you want more conversation, follow me and I'll be back. Thank you. Bye.